Hello, everybody, and welcome to Couples Therapy with the Schneiders. We are here with one of the first eliminated from Greenhouse Season 8, Coconut Tree, context, Benjamin.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm devastated.
Talk us through what happened.
Yeah, I think my downfall was being a bit too trusting of people because I knew that the fly trap was going to come into the game, and I just felt like, maybe I'm a bit delusional about my skills in the game, but I felt like organizing the collaboration to everyone split a seed, and then, not nominating most of the players would ingratiate myself with them, and then we would just work together to get one person out. And I'm kind of surprised that they were able to whip that all together. Maybe I should have been a little bit more cutthroat and not introduce the fly trap. But at the same time, I was never here to really burn bridges early. Like, I was here to play the long game, which is ironic since I'm the first out. But yeah.
So you were the one via the greed hunt who decided to flip the switch and introduce the fly trap.
Well, I was definitely a proponent of the strategy that 4 of us say no, 4 of us say yes in the greed hunt, so that we could get the most seeds possible for the group. By doing so, that then introduces the fly trap. But I was more concerned about just collaborating with people, and I was willing to put the fly trap in, which is the only way that a sunflower could go home the first round. So if I was a bit more strategic and really protecting myself, I would have made sure that there was no fly trap.
At what point did you feel in danger this round?
That's a good point. It all happened so fast that I'm not sure exactly when the moment was. I mean, there was a certain point in time where it became clear that people like Kiera and Jodely and Lee were actually talking with Sean and Ben. And that made me quite nervous. And also that Noah was going to talk to them. So as soon as I saw the people who were not the nominees talking with the nominees together, that's obviously a red flag that they're plotting, because if we're all on board with one of them going home, there's no need to talk to them. Let's just vote their asses out, and then we move on to the next round.
So that was the first sign of something wrong. When did you think, oh, it's me?
I definitely thought, oh, it's me, once I stepped outside and saw and heard Noah speaking with them, saying, yeah, I'm fine with you giving y'all 10 seeds. Then I knew, oh shit, like, they're going to fly trap, and it's me, it's not going to be Noah. And so after that, I really tried everything I could to get as many of the people on my side rather than Noah's, and to really try everything I could to encourage Ben and Sean to fly trap Noah. I still think my arguments were very persuasive, although in the end, not persuasive enough.
So our after show, our exit interview show is called Couples Therapy. And something I think we would love to know is, who do you feel like your soulmate of the season was? And it could have been a toxic relationship and it was very bad, or it could have been a great relationship that never had the chance to flourish in this case. Who would you say your soulmate was?
Well, nothing had a chance to flourish. I would say that Ben told me at the end of the round that 2 people in the group were sort of pushing for me and having my back. And I think that Sarah Cat was one of them. Although I think later on I heard her talking to Ben, and she just basically said, I don't want to pick a side. So I don't think I have a soulmate relationship with anybody, because I actually don't think anyone really had my back and stuck their neck out for me. That makes sense, of course. It's a game, and you don't want to stick your neck out for someone who looks like they're going home. So I think anyone who is not me and Noah or Ben and Sean is in a tricky position. They have to play all the sides and make sure they're good with everyone. I was surprised that people were giving seeds so easily, especially Jodely and Kiera. Like, I would have thought that, and Lee. I don't know. Maybe not so much Lee, because he was sort of working with those guys. Mm-hmm. But I'm surprised that Jodely and Kiera were so quick to lend seeds. Like, I thought people would hold on to their seeds much more. And I genuinely don't think it was the smartest move for this coffee house in general, because now the 7 of them are re-entering the game, but they've lost 10 seeds. And so that definitely puts all of them in a weaker position, because there's a lot less currency that they're taking with them. Whereas if they would have if we would have just voted out Ben, I think we still could have been quite unified and united, and we would have had much more seats. And I was genuine and sincere that I would have worked with all of them moving forward. And if they would have fly trapped Noah, I would have worked with Ben moving forward. Like, I was telling the truth. You know, I have no one that I'm aligned to here. So if he would have saved me, I absolutely would have been loyal to him.
So on the flip side of the title of couples therapy, who in the coffee house or in the house in general do you think could benefit most from therapy?
I think that I could benefit the most from therapy.
Well, here.
At this present time.
Welcome.
Both in this moment and in general. No, I'm just kidding. I think everyone can benefit from therapy. Not in a toxic way. Everyone can benefit from therapy. In terms of who I want to read and drag, I don't know. I don't really think that anyone played the round inappropriately. Like, I think people played it really well, which is why I don't have any hard feelings. Like,
yeah,
everyone played super well, and I can't be mad at people for going against me, especially when I didn't see it coming.
Yeah. So I do think you now hold title for furthest traveled ever to come to one of these games.
That just makes it worse. I came from Ohio.
Therapy is okay.
I came from Ohio. I was already in Ohio.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah.
So in that regard, still, you were then not the furthest, by the way. But how do you, I guess, encapsulate your game? I know it was short-lived and not necessarily what you were anticipating coming in, but what would be a few words just kind of encapsulate how you felt about the game? I know you kind of mentioned, yeah, they played a great round. Like, it's no hard feelings because you don't feel like you got screwed over in the sense that they played poorly and it was just unfair. I think it sounds like you felt it was just a good competitive game and you got beat this time, and that happens. But what would you think is a good way to describe your game?
Well, I kind of feel like I'm not qualified to answer that question. And I think that when you're blindsided, that means that you did not have an accurate read of the situation. And obviously it wasn't a total blindside at the end, but the fact that a lot of people supported the fly trap and supported me getting fly trapped over Noah, that in and of itself is a blindside. So actually what I'm really curious about in the vein of therapy is speaking to people after the game is over and just getting some feedback. I mean, I get that it's a game and like shouldn't take it all too seriously, but I'm just curious what vibes I gave off, what impressions people had of me that made them want to support Ben in fly trapping me. I think that would be interesting to get that feedback, because I don't think I can answer that question because I got blindsided.
Yeah.
And then we learn and then we grow.
Yeah, exactly.
Like flowers and plants. Welcome to the greenhouse.
So our last question, that'll kind of tie back into one of the intro questions, is what do you think was stronger, your bark or your bite?
Well, I had a very weak bark and a very weak bite. So this is a hard question to answer. I think for me, and also what I've learned playing these games, is that my bark is always stronger than my bite. Because if my bite was stronger, I would have voted no and there'd be no fly trap. So I think I talk a big game, and in the end, my willingness to collaborate for strategic purposes, not to collaborate for hearts and flowers and rainbows, but I think my game ultimately relies on building relationships and trust and collaboration rather than coming in and biting everyone. Yeah. And so in this case, it bit me, but I think there are universes where that doesn't happen and I go on to have a successful game.
So, Benjamin, did you enjoy your 4 hours in the game?
I loved it. I mean, I had never participated in anything like this. Like, there's no experience like this. It's a rush of adrenaline. It's probably what people who do crazy shit like bungee jumping and skydiving, how they feel. For me, it's like a mental rush of adrenaline. It's like the mental equivalent of bungee jumping off of a building. And there's so few opportunities to have these kinds of experiences. And so I think when they present themselves, you'd be a fool not to accept it and to not throw yourself in it wholeheartedly and completely and give it everything you've got and have no regrets.
So this and jigsaw puzzles, that's what does it for you.
Yeah. I have a very thrilling life, Brody.
Well, Claire, do you have any other questions for our shriveled up dying flower?
I don't, no. I don't.
I do think it continues a long-lived tradition of people getting fly trapped having flower powers for the round. It continues to live on.
Long-standing
And
tradition.
I do have one question in regard to that, and you may have talked about it on this side of the house, but I wasn't able to witness. Was there ever a discussion of, it sounds like Noah may have been who you initially wanted to target.
100%.
Was there ever a discussion of lying when choosing the powers and saying, no, I'll take 2 seeds, and then stealing Noah's flower at the end?
So I absolutely thought of that in the moment, but the problem was that Noah came second in the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So my understanding was that I could never stop him from getting a flower. Maybe I could be wrong on the rules, but my understanding was that if I took a flower from him, that he would always have the option to have the other flower because Sarah finished third.
As well as they can always steal one more time.
The way it was going was...
Yeah, you would have needed Sarah to take a flower whenever she re-chose. So if she would have chosen, let's say Noah went second, and he asked the guy, because he looked at you and said, what do you want to do? If he would have then stolen Sarah's flower, and you said, I'm going to take the 2 seeds, so Sarah takes the other flower in that case, you could have then, at the very end, said, never mind, I'll steal Noah's, and he's then stuck with 2 seeds. Is the thought.
Interesting.
It would have
probably
taken a lot of thought.
A lot of thought, and probably a very, very risky maneuver for so early in the game.
Yeah.
It's a lot of lying for no reason. That's
burning
blatant.
a lot of bridges.
Correct.
And I feel like it would not have been successful because the fact is, the fly trap still happened, and the choice was me or Noah, and I got fly trapped.
Yeah.
So me targeting Noah even earlier probably wouldn't have been successful because it's clear that he had a better handle of the situation and had more people on his side than I did.
Yeah.
So I think had I done that, my exit from the game would have just been quicker.
More expedited. Well,
All
that
right.
is everything I have for Benjamin. Claire, do you have anything else
I
in
don't
therapy?
I don't have anything else. Do you have any last words you want to say to America or the UK?
Oh gosh, to the world. Yeah, what I would just say is that I'm sorry for flopping. I tried my hardest, played my hardest. Maybe that was my downfall. Maybe if I would have come in a bit less hot, then it would have gone a little bit better. But yeah, this is a really fun experience, and thank you so much to Taylor and for everyone involved with letting me play and participate.
Well, we are very excited to have had you, and we look forward to you playing again sometime in the future, hopefully.
We'll see. No fly traps in that one.
No fly traps in the first round. I can almost promise, but I can't promise.
Thank you so much, Benjamin.
Thank you
We'll
both.
see you next time.
Thank you.
On Couples Therapy.
Bye, America. And the world.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Couples Therapy with the Schneiders. We are here with Allie, one of the first eliminated from Greenhouse Season 8 Coconut Tree in parentheses context. Allie, what happened? What's going on? Talk us through everything.
I think I just fell out of the coconut tree. And I didn't exist in the context. No, it wasn't a blindside. Maddie with the Plant Daddy hat, because I don't know anybody's last name here.
That would be Maddie Miller.
Maddie Miller,
Returning.
All-Stars alum.
All-Stars alum, Maddie, put me on the block as Rose. I had a feeling that that was going to happen because I had talked to her the least, and I don't know, I just, like I had said in my initial confessional, I kind of just got weird, like, vibes from her when I tried to talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she didn't even want to try to talk to me, but, like, that could just be me reading too much into it. And, yeah, I mean, it was a 5-0 vote. Nobody was willing to save me. I really tried hard to fight for myself, and they didn't want to fight for me more because they said I seemed desperate, which I'm sure that any one of those people would have been desperate if they were on the block.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, on the block in a 9-person house.
Yeah, I think it is.
What are you supposed to do, not fight for yourself?
Exactly. I think it is
Right.
often criticized to fight when it's easy to criticize from a point of safety. But, like, if you are going home, and this is for every future player, you should fight.
Yeah.
Like, you staying still and being quiet is not going to save you. So if you're going to go out fighting. And You did that every step of the way. I was watching. I was a part of all of it, and I enjoyed watching it because I hate to just watch people turn over and die.
I mean, I'm never one to turn over and die, especially in a game like this. And I don't know. I really did try to play a different game this time, but I feel like I didn't even get a chance to play a different game this time. And it just like doesn't feel very great to be told like we're just basing this off of vibes. And then when the nominations happened, Ani did her nomination of Mickey and just said, oh, it's just based off of who I haven't talked to. And then Maddie said, this is based off of who I haven't talked to and your name has been floating around the house. So I don't know why my name was floating around the house. Maybe because I like am eager to play. I want to play. Like,
do you think having a previous reputation from playing in the past came into effect at all in that first round?
I don't think it should have. Because I played a stupid game last time I played Greenhouse. I mean, I got myself out with my own poison daisy chain. I got out third.
Yeah.
So, and on my own volition, because it wasn't even like a double elimination.
Yeah, it's just...
Right. It was a stupid move. And then Big Brother, I did pretty well, but I don't think I have that much of a reputation like the LRG world. I've played a couple and done a couple of games that like I'm not proud of how I played, but I feel like they saw me as a threat a little bit.
And I think that is one of the risks you take as being someone who's a gamer. I think whenever you come in and your immediate thought is to play the game, I think there's a lot of people who come into these and they're not trying to play the game. They're just wanting to coast to the end and be third. And I think that's like one of the risks that gets taken on is you're either going to be out early or you're going to be set up for the rest of the game. And it's almost a coin flip of which one actually takes in the game. And I play that way. I know you play that way. I think Claire plays that way to an extent. And I think that is the way I enjoy playing because I'd rather, like, if I'm not going to win, what's the point of playing?
Right.
And you have to take that shot.
And I'm not necessarily playing to win all the time. Like, I'm playing to have fun.
Yeah.
But it would be great to win. I would love to win. I'm not going to just sit here and be like, I don't want to win because why else are you here?
Yeah.
Why else are you here? So, I don't know. And then people were saying that, oh, well, you're just saying to everybody that if they have your back, then you'll have their back. And you just can't do blanket promises like that. It's like, oh, what else am I supposed to do? Like, I'm trying to convince people to have my back so I'm not out. Like,
what do you think was the first point in the round where you thought, oh, I might be in trouble?
As soon as the greenhouse was solidified.
Decided.
Yeah, as soon as the greenhouse challenge was over, because we had Ani and Maddie, who were the two people I've talked to the least, and I barely talked to Lee.
Yeah.
So it just, I had a feeling I was going up. I'm a very bubbly, like, person, and just talkative person, especially when I'm nervous and on like Vyvanse and Red Bull. and like I had to do that this morning to wake up. So I just had a feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, I told Mickey before nominations went up, I think I'm going up. And she was like, I haven't heard your name. And it's like, no, I think I'm going up.
Yeah. Who would you have liked to see in the greenhouse? If you could have chosen out of your group. I know the houses were split, which adds another whole factor, and I think you kind of got dealt a bad hand, and a lot of people, it sounds like you were talking to, during the opening round and the introduction stage, it just kind of split in a way that was not beneficial for you. But who would you have chosen from your side?
Yeah, I would have much rather been in the other house. I think just the way that I heard about the round going in the other house, and just the people I talked to in general, I vibed more with them. In my house, for Greenhouse, I think the best thing for me would have been to be in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
And possibly Mickey there with me, so switch the knobs.
Yeah,
to
just
the
complete opposite of what ended up happening.
right. Because I vibed with Mickey right off the bat, and I really didn't talk to her much, and I felt bad because of how the round went and stuff. But I don't know. I vibed with her a lot, and it would have been a good greenhouse. And I probably would have chosen Sunflower because I think that there is power in giving someone a seed.
Absolutely. I think that is the right move early on when Tulip is not in play.
Right. Tulip is definitely the first thing that you want to get, to me. Because blocking votes can get you allies fast, because banking votes gets you allies fast.
Yeah.
But I think that splitting the house really caught me off guard, I guess. I think I would have definitely made it past the first round had the house not been split.
Yeah.
So the things you said about Mickey kind of tie into one of our questions, which is the theme of this show, and there's a loose collaboration, teamwork theme today.
Coconuts.
So, with what you said about Mickey, we've been asking people, who in the game do you think was your soulmate? Would that be Mickey, or was there someone else that you really would?
So, like, right away, I clicked with Kiara. So I was so upset when we weren't in the same house. And, like, it just, I don't know. I mean, and Mickey, too. So I think you can have multiple game soulmates. Just like you can have multiple soulmates in real life. And I don't know. I'm just bummed that I didn't get to work with anybody.
Yeah.
And that I didn't get to work with Kiara at all. So I don't know. I can't even really pick anybody else because I got out so soon.
Yeah.
Well, you might be able to answer the other side of the title.
Elaborating on that even more, the other half of our exit interview is couples therapy. So one thing we'd like to know is if you could send anyone in the house to therapy, or who you think needs therapy the most. These are the people who they're a little cracked, probably could use some mental stabilization from your point of view.
I don't know though. If anything, I would say, and this is just because like I feel a little hurt by this, but Matthew, because like I'm almost positive that he was the one that started floating around my name, and then he said to me, "Oh yeah, I'll like make sure it's not a unanimous vote and stuff, just to give you like a good faith vote if you give me your seed." So I gave him my seed because I was like, I just don't want to be like obliterated, you know? And I want to give my seed to someone, and that was not in good faith.
And then he did it anyway.
He did it anyway.
Yeah.
So go to therapy. You don't do that to people that like you just don't do that to people.
Yeah.
Because it does benefit him to have another seed, but like.
Do you think the view of him betraying you in that moment will have longer lasting effects than the one seed he gained by doing it?
I don't know,
Okay.
because he told the rest of the house that I gave him the seed, and he still was not going to vote for me. But I called him out in front of everyone. I said, I do want to say I gave Matthew my seed, and he said he wouldn't vote for me, and that was not in good faith. So it could.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just would also like to say, like, everybody kind of might need a little bit of therapy, because I did listen in on the room, like, with my ear to the door, and that is my own fault. I'm already in therapy, so if anyone tries to say that I need therapy, joke's on you. But I, like, listened in, and everybody's in there, like, talking about me and, like, laughing about me and, like, laughing, like, like I'm delusional or something for trying to fight to stay here.
Yeah.
So, like, that doesn't feel very good. Like, saying that you just don't vibe with me and, like, trying to give excuses like that, like, just doesn't feel very good.
Yeah, you'd rather just be told, hey.
It just is what it is. It's the first round.
We already made a decision, we're just going to stick with it kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And, like, I was told that by John Michael, and I really do appreciate that straight up. Like, John Michael and Lee, I like seriously appreciate them being willing to like hear me out and stuff. That was really nice of them to hear me out and attempt to work with me, even though it just didn't end up working out. I don't blame them for that at all. But what I don't appreciate is Matthew saying like, "Oh, I'll advocate for you. I'll advocate for you," and then I hear through the door saying like, "Oh yeah, Allie asked me to advocate for her." Yeah, both him and Maddie L. were like, "Allie asked me to advocate for her. Allie asked me to do that," and like everybody's like laughing behind the door.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't feel very good. And I know it's a game,
but yeah, it still has some pain behind it.
But like, be straight up.
Yeah.
Don't be chit-chatting and doing all that. It's the first round. You can tell me.
Yeah. One thing I did notice, and I'm curious to get your thoughts on it, is whenever it was decided who would be taking seeds and who would not be as part of the greed hunt or whatever we like to call it, you did not take one. But Mickey did. Do you think that came into play at all in the fact that you didn't take one? And what was your decision, or what drove the decision behind not taking one?
So I was thinking greater good for this side of the house. I didn't want the fly trap to be in play. Last minute, I did think about taking a seed for chaos. But I, just in case there was a slim chance that I wasn't put up, I didn't, or that I was put up, because I was. If I would have done that, I mean, nobody would have known necessarily, but it just could have been worse for everybody, especially if someone could get seed count. So, I had suggested to everybody that we, in good faith, not like balance it out so the fly trap isn't into play, and so there were less seeds in circulation overall.
Try to make it smaller counts.
Right. Because even if a fly trap was in play, I mean, and this happened over here, they burned 10 seeds or 11 seeds, however much fly trap was. So they burned those seeds that they got. And I think it's just better for everybody to have less seeds in circulation at the very beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, just strategically for everybody.
Yeah, each one holds more power at that point.
So, like, I did suggest that, and everybody kind of, like, went with it. But
looking back,
I mean, I could have caused chaos, I could have done whatever, but it doesn't matter now.
Yeah.
I'm here.